Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Department of Business Economics, University of Delhi, I, Anam, would like to warmly welcome each one of you to today's session of Coffee with HR. Our theme, From Campus to Corporate, Growing Success with HR, is something each one of us can relate to as we prepare to step into the professional world. We are fortunate to have with us today not one, but two accomplished HR leaders who bring rich experience and real-world insights into people strategy and talent management. It's my pleasure to introduce Ms. 𝗧𝗶𝗵𝗀 Mishra, Head Talent Acquisition at Yamaha Motor Solutions. She currently leads talent acquisition initiatives and play a pivotal role in shaping hiring strategy. Prior to this, she has worked with Randstad India and Global Growth IOC across recruitment and talent management functions. Ma'am, we are truly delighted to have you
Thank you so
with
much.
us today.
Thank you so much. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is a delight. Okay, do you want it with him? He just left. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's equally an honor to introduce Ms. Titiksha Guha, Senior Executive Human Resources at Yamaha Motor Solutions. She contributes across HR functions and people processes that strengthen organizational culture. Previously, she has worked with 𝗬𝗪𝗵 and 𝗀𝗶𝘁 LLP and PwC India, gaining valuable exposure to structured HR systems and corporate environments. Ma'am, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So starting with our first question, which is open to both of you.
Sure.
So thinking back to when you first stepped into the corporate world, what challenges stood out during your transition from campus to corporate life, and how did you navigate them?
Well, I'll take it first.
Yeah,
so, just a quick intro for all of you. I come with about 18 years of experience now with the HR fraternity. But I graduated as an engineer. So I started as an engineer myself. My aim was completely different. I wanted to be in Air Force. I was preparing myself for Air Force. I cleared my SSB. I gave my physical. I cleared that as well. While going for my medical, I got to know that I was anemic at that point in time. If I would have applied, I would have gotten a permanent rejection, which somehow at that point in time, I was not ready for it. So I thought I'll probably choose another line, which was my plan B, pick up a job after my BTech. So I was placed at that point in time. If you guys know, you would have heard about Satyam. That company did release about 102 offers, but gave joining to none. So I was fortunately or unfortunately one of those 102 people who was hired in Satyam, but never got my joining letter from the organization. So I joined Wipro instead. And within a month or two, I moved to the HR department because they was forming up a new team. So that was my first stint with HR. That was probably way back in 2008. And I don't know how many of you were studying or probably, were in your early toddler age at that point in time. Yeah, I don't look oldie, but then I am. So it was very difficult initially to start as a fresh graduate, that to an engineer, and then become an HR professional, because everybody in my team was either 8 years, 7 years, or an HR themselves, MBA HRs. I was a fresh, plain BTech graduate, so I had to work double. I had to work hard. I had to learn a lot of things, and it became. At a point in time, I thought I am in a wrong profession because nobody is there to support. But then finally, my mentors who were there with me at that point in time, they did teach me a lot of things. So if I ask you, if I tell you that, how has been my journey, it has its own ups and downs. It has its own, fair share of seeing the failures and seeing the success, the small success that I would have received by now. But it was amazing at that point in time. So one thing that I would like to tell you guys, that when you start afresh from campus to corporate, do not have expectations that everything would be rosy. It looks very rosy. You guys are studying, you know it all. Sometimes you would find your peers who would know a little lesser than what you know with because of the experience. But you have to maneuver your ways there, and unless until you work hard yourself, you are ready to invest yourself in it completely, I don't think it's going to help you there. So that was a little of my journey, and here I am sitting today with but almost like 18 years, and yeah, working fine. That probably my team would tell me if I'm doing doing a good job or not. So yeah.
Anything you would like to add?
Well, I am not that old into this fraternity, definitely. I do not come with 18 years of experience, but then I hold close about 7 years of experience now. And of course, when you're transitioning from campus to corporate, it comes with a bit of excitement, but then self-doubt as well.
Yeah.
Because when you are in college, everything is structured. You get the feedback from your professors. You know you have to meet your deadlines. There are exams that you have to pass, and everything is structured and laid out for you. But then when you enter a corporate, it is not defined. You have to figure it out yourself. And of course, the aim is to deliver immediately, but then you will also have to understand that you have to probably strengthen your relationships, learn, like shadow your colleagues, the senior colleagues, the mentors, and then probably grow in a field where you ultimately want to strive and achieve the same.
Really appreciate you sharing that. It makes the transition feel far less intimidating for us. So, Srishti ma'am, from your experience across organizations, how have you seen the role of HR shift from a support function to a strategic business partner?
See, I'll tell you, initially when I started my career, the job of HR was so I started from recruitments. So my job was to hire the right candidate for the position, for that particular requisition or a position that we would have received, and just close the position, and that's about it. But these days, if I look at it from probably past a decade, it has changed completely. Now it's more with business alignment. So if we are not aligned with the business, it becomes very difficult as an HR as well to just close the positions. We sit with the business in their new project calls in order to look at, the kind of requirements that would come in. This right now is a fast-paced industry where every month there is a new technology that comes into picture. So if you don't do that, it becomes, so now it has become more strategic HR, because you get into the discussions, you know what kind of requirements will be there, then you train and hire the people accordingly, and then you probably place. So initially it used to be the work is given to you, you get the job done. Now it's more like the other way around, where we sit with the business and understand what kind of requirements could be there to broaden their horizons, to make the project and the business grow, and then we hire for them. So we do a planned hiring, a strategic hiring now, instead of just going ahead and checkboxing. So yeah.
So, ma'am, that perspective truly shows how dynamic and business critical HR has become today.
Yes, it has. It has.
Titiksha ma'am, coming to you, you must have interacted with many candidates. What interview mistakes do you commonly observe, and what would you advise students to do differently?
So my entire 7 years has been into talent acquisition. I have been speaking to candidates on a regular basis. So my day starts with speaking to candidates itself. Common mistakes, I would say, is candidates usually probably do not clear the interviews, not because they lack that capability. It is because they do not know how to present themselves. So they come under pressure.
Yeah.
Because when you speak to a candidate, most of the time it feels that the answers that they have built is something that they have memorized. It sounds rehearsed, and that is not what the interviewers want to hear. They want to hear logical answers which will bring impact. They tell stories, situations, and create that impact. They want to hear genuine answers, not something that is pre-rehearsed. And then another big error that I come across while interacting with people is that they lack the understanding of the job description, and they do not rehearse much. I mean, they do not research much about the organization. It is very superficial. I mean, most of the times we get very superficial answers with respect to the job description. I think when you're appearing for an interview, you should be able to present your skills in a way which aligns to the job description. So you should be well aware of the job description that you have applied for, and about the organization that you're applying for, and why you have applied. Why do you wish to join that organization in the first place?
Absolutely.
I think these are few common errors that we encounter on a regular basis. And if a candidate is able to clear these, then I think it is a good to go for them.
I'm sure everyone here just picked up at least one thing to improve in their next interview. Once again, Titiksha ma'am, this question is for you. In a fast changing business landscape, how can young professionals consistently upskill and stay relevant without feeling overwhelmed?
Well, upskilling, I would say, does not mean that you have to enroll yourself for a course. It does not mean that you have to pay a price or a cost to it, and that is the only way that you will be able to upskill yourself.
Agreed.
If I have to upskill myself, I can probably learn a new tool, learn a new tech, and that is readily available in the market these days. Or I can probably shadow the senior mentors and understand how they work on a regular basis if I have to upskill my skills. I can probably research new industry blogs, study about the market insights, study about the latest trends, and upskill myself. So I think through these skills itself, I will be able to upskill myself on a regular basis in order to uh, probably understand what the current trends are. So it always does not have to come with a cost attached to it.
Okay, interesting way to look at it. So, Srishti ma'am, we would like to know that from a recruiter's lens, how important is personal branding today, particularly on platforms like LinkedIn?
I'll take it up from where she left actually. See, while you're doing your upskilling, while you're doing everything, it is very important that you stay very active on LinkedIn and the social media platforms specifically designed for business practices. So we as a recruiter, because I always call myself as a recruiter because I was born a recruiter, I'll die a recruiter. So along with the other parts of HR, of course. So personal branding is yes important, but that does not mean that you possess or you know express yourself to the world that you know I've written this article or I have been doing research papers and everybody start doing that. It's more about what is the content that you see, what is the content that you are interested in, what is the content that you post on LinkedIn, and you have to be very consistent. So you think that one of your posts that you put in on LinkedIn, which got you about 1 lakh 2 lakh impressions and thousands of your views, and you would have gotten famous over the night, and the next you wait for it for 6 months, that's not branding. Consistency is something that is very important. What kind of material do you look at it? Because as a recruiter, we would definitely go through your LinkedIn profile if in case you're applying. We will see what kind of groups are you attached to, what kind of posts that you do, what kind of material that you like, because what you see is what you become. So I know that if somebody is investing his time in the politics, would definitely have that kind of a bent of mind. Somebody who is interested in liking the sports edition would definitely be a sports person. So without talking to somebody, I understand what kind of personality you bring into the table. And that's very important because by the end of it, you're bringing a value add to the organization. And that's what we look at.
Personal branding suddenly feels a lot more doable
Yes.
after hearing that.
Thank you.
Also, Srishti ma'am, when you think of future leaders, what qualities stand out to you, and how can young professionals begin cultivating them early on?
Lovely question. I love this topic. Honestly, I can go on and on this topic, but I know we are sitting in a time constraint. So I'd like to probably make this, not just where I am doing the talking. Just one thing that I would like to ask this entire audience: what do you understand by leadership? Can you give me just 3 good adjectives of a leader? Anybody? Vision, okay. Good listener, okay. Understanding, okay. I'll still wait for some more. Actions, okay. 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 Out of the box. So what you guys are talking is all books, right? You would have read all of these things in the book. A leader always leads by example. A leader always need to step up. He's not the boss. He's different. He's different from a manager. There are a lot of theories going around on this. There are a lot of LinkedIn posts as well on this. I'm sure you all would have read. But I come with, again, I said I'm wired differently, right? From Air Force, if I've been to an HR and I've been surviving in this industry for that long, I am wired differently for sure. For me, leader is not somebody who will, of course, he should possess these all qualities, but somebody who can give you a clarity. You can be a leader, he can be a leader, this person sitting there could be a leader. You would never realize that. Somebody who has that clarity, to give that clarity and to seek for that clarity is a leader for me. Now, why and how? How is something, see, if somebody comes to me with a question, if I am a leader, I should be able to give him that kind of a clarity that, this is the problem that you come with. This is the kind of a solution that you actually are, looking for. Or if there is not a solution, this is the workaround that you could do. If I don't have a solution, I should have that clarity within me to say that, I am not the right person to probably guide you on this. If you go to this X or a Y person, he or she would be able to guide you better. So if you have that clarity, is something what defines you as a leader, and it defines you as a leader who stands apart from all the leaders. This is what I expect from my seniors, and this is what I look for when I hire freshers or experienced people, or even at a CXO level. If they have that vision, they have that clarity that they can tell me everything very clearly. They have, because until you have clarity of thoughts, you would not be able to help anybody. As a leader, your job is to streamline. Your job is not to bring or make somebody rise up the ladder, give promotions, give appraisals, get more money in the accounts for the organization, look at the revenue. No, you need to give the clarity so that the other person can perform the work that he's been asked to do. And that's what I think is a leader. Sorry, I took a little longer.
No problem, ma'am. Okay, so it clearly starts with the clarity in the mindset and not the position. That's a very powerful answer. So we all see that young professionals often have the eager to prove themselves. How can they balance ambition with well-being in the early stages of their careers? Titiksha, would you like to answer that?
All right. So, of course, work-life balance is something that everybody is probably looking at when they start their career.
Yeah.
Now, in their early careers itself, I would suggest people to set the expectations right from the beginning. Of course, all of you will be joining the corporates with a lot of enthusiasm, wherein you feel that you will have to deliver everything, and whatever work has been assigned to you, you are bound to say yes. But I would suggest you to prioritize things, and then probably, as she mentioned, to have that clarity of what needs to be done right now, what can be pushed at a later stage and probably covered, so that you do not exhaust yourself while working. Yeah. Because it is very important to set your boundaries right, boundaries straight. And if you do not communicate and provide that clarity to your seniors or to your mentors, that you are probably overloaded with work, or you're probably exhausted with the work that has been assigned, or you do not prioritize your work, then I am sorry, you will not be able to achieve that work-life balance in any of the organizations probably that you are probably tend to work in. Because of course, we say an ex organization, I was associated with them, I could not find that work-life balance because I was overloaded with work. And we tend to hear a lot of feedback from the candidates that we speak, and that is the reason that they left these organizations as well. But that is something that you will have to find yourself. Of course, we always blame the organization, but then again, it has to be clarified by you to the mentors or to the people that you're working, that how you will provide that clarity, how you will provide that, you will set your priorities and accordingly set your work-life balance.
It's an important reminder that success shouldn't come at the cost of balance. Yes. From that, Srishti ma'am, how significant do you think emotional intelligence is in HR and leadership roles? And have you seen moments where it made real difference?
Yes. Now with this experience, I can tell you that I've had lots and lots of instances where I was tested on my EQ. IQ, of course, every day you're tested, but EQ. See, if you have a very high emotion quotient, is also very dangerous. If you have a very low quotient, you also are very dangerous. You need to stabilize that. So I'll give you an instance where in my previous organizations, so we used to hire in bulk. Every week there used to be 200 or 300 people joining in the organization. And one fine night after the induction, once everything we wrapped it up, we got a call from the senior management that you have to stay back, we need to discuss. And they gave a list of 700 people. They said, you need to fire these 700 people. This has to happen through this as in tonight. They shouldn't be there in the organization tomorrow. And I don't know how you do that. So you have to do it. It's 10 in the night. People are there in the night shift. So we'll have to sit back and we'll have to fire them. I shouldn't be saying fire them, but we'll have to let them go. for some business reasons. And that 700 has the list of 300 people who's joined last week. So Friday I get this email, Friday I get this direction from my senior management. Monday are the people who joined in. If my EQ wouldn't have been stable at that point in time, I wouldn't have been able to let go a single person. What does EQ stands for? Empathy, right? Emotion quotient. You need to be very empathetic. That's what everybody says. What does empathy means? Standing in somebody else's shoes, try to understand what you feel and then probably respond. If I stand in their shoes at that point in time, I start crying with them, doesn't work, right? So instead what we have to do is you have to keep your emotion quotient balanced and use your IQ at that point in time. How will you solve the equation at that point in time? So what happened is we were able to let go of all these 700. We were able to let them go without getting a life-threatening warning from most of them, because this was Gurgaon, you all know. And we've hired some people who were references of MLAs and things like that. And we were scared for our lives as well, that if we step out, we won't be alive, because they gave us this warning. And they gave this warning to their mentors and their managers. But again, balanced EQ was able to balance the situation, and yeah, we did. So it's very important to have a balanced EQ. HR is always the bearer of the good news and sometimes the bad news. So if your EQ is not balanced, you will not be able to do justice to either of the situations. So again, I don't say that you go with a poker face. I don't say that you always have to, come across as a cold-hearted person. You need to know where you should be warm enough to, console the person, because we also act as counselors at a point in time. We also act as mentors. We also act as, professors for some people, wherein we have to coach them. This is how you, perform in your tasks. And yes, HR is always, blamed for everything. So that's how it is.
Emotional intelligence
Yes.
really does seem like an invisible edge.
It is.
So talking about early career setbacks, as you said about letting them go off,
Yes.
they can feel overwhelming and demotivating to us.
Yes.
So what mindset would both of you recommend to young professionals to adopt when facing rejection or failure? Would you like to start?
Right. So failure is feedback. I mean, the fear of rejection should be treated as a route to redirection. If I talk about appearing for my first interview back in 2019, I appeared for a talent acquisition executive role itself with one of the big fours. And I was not able to clear that interview. I was not able to clear the second round of the interview. And of course, when you get that feedback, you completely feel disheartened. And you tend to question yourself. You are always in that self-doubt that what went wrong. And of course, you feel it is not going anywhere, and now I will not be able to work around other interviews. But then of course, bring out that emotion, feel disheartened, take 1 or 2 days, and then probably restart. Just understand what went wrong, how can you probably better yourself, upskill yourself, understand what went wrong in that previous interview, and then how you will be able to work around your other interviews. And then I think I was able to do so, because 3 years later, I got the opportunity to clear the interview with one of the big fours. Back in 2022, I was able to join them. So I think fear of rejection shouldn't be treated as a failure. It should always be treated as a feedback. If you would like to add anything to this.
Yes. Again, how many of you here drive? Can I just a show of hands? And how many of you have seen a GPS or seen it functioning? Everyone? If you take a wrong turn, what happens? Reroutes, right? It doesn't shouts at you. It doesn't start crying. It doesn't say, this is the end of my world. You didn't take my words. Now I'm not talking to you. No, doesn't happen, right? Reroutes. This is exactly what we should do. When you get a setback, when you get a failure, reroute. Always remember, whatever happens, happens for good. I've had my share of failures. I've had my shares of, again, that small little successes that I've gotten. But I embrace all of them. If you ask me today, if given a chance, you would want to, change something about your past career or the way you decided? I don't think so, I would. Because today what I am is because of my failures. My success would have gone to my head. but my failures made me content. So embrace your failures. As she said, that's a feedback. Learn from it and be open to that feedback. You'll do wonders. So I don't think so that you should think this is the end of the life, or this is the dead end, or this is the wrong turn that I've taken. Reroute. It'll help.
It was a great example of rerouting. And reframing failure that way makes it feel like growth rather than defeat.
It does.
So if you both could offer one piece of advice to your younger self at the start of your career, what would it be?
Shall I go first? Would you want to go first?
You go first.
Well, I don't think I would give any advice to myself when I was younger, because if I wouldn't have done those stupid things in my life, I wouldn't have been sitting here today. I would have been a different person. And I can't imagine myself like a different person right now in this age. So I'm happy with what I did. The only thing that I would say is I could have been a little less rowdy. I have always been a little more rowdy in my life. A little toned down would have helped me probably be 5% different from what I am today, but it wouldn't have made a much of a difference. So for me, I don't think so I'd give any advice to my younger self. I just say go with the flow. Sometimes I got scared, I didn't do what I was supposed to or what my heart was telling me. But if I have to go back, all I'll say is follow your heart. It'll take you the place where you want to be. So that's what I would want to say. Yeah.
Ma'am, would you like to express?
I think one advice that I would want to give myself probably would have been like, don't rush to get things done immediately. Probably listen, strengthen your relationships at workplaces, and then deliver.
Yeah.
You shouldn't come up with that expectation that I will get it done on the very first day and then strive to achieve that. Rather than listen, shadow, and then strengthen your relationships and accordingly work your way around.
To build a foundation.
Yeah, build the foundation.
Yeah. The foundation has to be very strong.
Yeah, definitely. Great takeaway for all of us. So we'll now move on to the quick rapid fire round. Where's
Oh
Sean?
God, we're doing a coffee with Karan here. Where's the hamper, guys?
So this is a short and spontaneous answer from both of you.
Okay.
Shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, so first is people skills or technical skills?
People skills.
Culture fit or role fit?
Culture fit. What? Okay.
Learning on the job or structured training?
Learning on the job. Oh my God. Okay.
Startup experience or corporate experience?
Startup
Corporate
experience.
experience.
No, startup experience.
Campus hiring or lateral hiring?
Lateral.
I enjoy both.
I enjoy lateral.
I'm
sorry.
Which is fine.
I'm extremely sorry, all of you.
No, I enjoy both.
Okay, so hybrid work or in-office culture?
Hybrid. Because you get to live both, best of the both worlds.
Both, yes.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
And one word to describe a great professional?
Passionate.
Integrity.
Passion
That
comes
was-
with integrity. Yeah. So we go hand in hand.
Always.
That was quick, insightful, and fun. Thank you for playing along.
Thank you.
So that was an enriching discussion. So on behalf of Placements and Alumni Relations Committee, I extend a heartfelt thank you to Srishti ma'am and Titiksha ma'am
Thank you.
for sharing your time and valuable insights with us today. Your guidance has truly added meaning to this session.